This message didn't land in your hands by accident. It's here now, at this exact moment, because something in you needed to hear it. Your heart is heavy with a guilty conscience, but that's only because you haven't let yourself move on yet. The angels say, it might be hard to explain, but that tight feeling in your chest, the weight you've been carrying around, that's your heart trying to get your attention. You've been carrying so much, memories, expectations, unspoken worries, quietly convincing yourself that if you just keep going, maybe the ache will fade on its own. But deep down, part of you wonders if you're clinging to guilt because it makes you feel responsible, as if releasing it would mean forgetting, or worse, that it never mattered in the first place. What are you really holding on to? Is it the memory of how things ended? The fear that you hurt someone without meaning to? Or maybe it's the image of who you used to be, the version of yourself who didn't know better, but who tried anyway. You don't need to carry the weight just to prove that you care. You've already proven that in more ways than you realize. Maybe you've been too focused on keeping up with life, chasing goals, solving problems, handling responsibilities. You've been so caught up in moving forward that you haven't had the chance to stop and ask yourself how you're really feeling. And now, that guilt is showing up like a shadow that won't leave. That shadow isn't there to punish you. It's there to remind you of something unfinished. Something within you still wants to be acknowledged, understood, and released. It's not about fixing the past. It's about facing it with compassion. Are you willing to look at yourself the way someone who loves you would? But the truth is, guilt often grows in silence. And right now, your silence is feeding it. When you keep everything inside, guilt has room to stretch itself into something bigger than it actually is. It echoes in your thoughts, twists your memories, and makes you second-guess choices that came from an honest place. Silence can turn small doubts into loud accusations, and before you know it, you start believing the worst about yourself without ever giving your heart the chance to speak its side. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself what your guilt is really trying to protect? Sometimes it hides behind the fear of being misunderstood. Other times it's trying to shield you from the pain of letting go. But you deserve more than this inner punishment. You deserve to forgive yourself, not because you've forgotten what happened, but because you finally understand it. I repeat, your heart is heavy with a guilty conscience, but that's only because you haven't let yourself move on yet. You haven't done anything wrong just because you've changed. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to make choices that feel right for where you are now, even if they don't make sense to others, even if someone you once cared about wouldn't understand them. It's possible that the guilt you feel isn't even about a specific action, but more about leaving behind a version of yourself that no longer fits, and that's okay. You're not meant to stay stuck in one place forever. At this very moment, there's someone who's been quietly thinking about you. They've been playing back old moments in their mind, small things you said, the way you used to laugh when no one else got the joke, the way your presence made everything feel a little more grounded. You might think they've forgotten, but they haven't. They've simply been carrying it in silence, unsure if they still have a place in your life. Have you ever wondered if someone is missing you at the same moment you're thinking about them? Because that's exactly what's been happening. They're trying to understand whether the connection they once felt was real, or if it was just wishful thinking. And even though time has passed, part of them still believe that you're someone worth reaching for. Maybe you've noticed their energy around you lately, or maybe you haven't. But they've been thinking about how you once made them feel seen, and they're starting to wonder if there's still something real between you. They're trying to work through their own feelings that are tangled in uncertainty, curiosity, and hope. They may not know how to reach out. They might be waiting for a sign that it's safe to open up. And maybe, deep down, you've been waiting for the same thing, a sign that it's okay to care again without fear. What if this message is that sign? What if this moment is your gentle nudge to stop guarding your heart so tightly and allow yourself to feel again? And whether you realize it or not, you could be the one holding the key. The question is, are you ready to stop punishing yourself for how far you've come? There's no shame in changing. There's no guilt in growing. And if your heart still aches for something or someone, maybe it's time to stop running from that feeling. If this person comes forward, or if life places you back in front of each other, try to meet them with honesty. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing to be real. The universe has a way of guiding people back to each other when the timing is finally right. But don't wait so long that the moment passes you by. Sometimes it takes distance for people to grow into the version of themselves that's finally ready to reconnect. Maybe that's what's happening now. The person you're becoming, the one who's braver, softer, and more self-aware, might be exactly who this other soul has been waiting to meet again. Don't underestimate how much healing can happen quietly in the background of everyday life. Just because you haven't spoken doesn't mean the bond disappeared. It might be waiting for both of you to catch up with yourselves. And when the moment does come, it won't need to be perfect. It just needs to be honest. Take a deep breath. Let go of the weight you've been carrying. You've been strong for so long, and sometimes strength looks like letting go, not holding on. You don't need to carry every memory like a burden. Some can simply be held with tenderness, appreciated for what they were, and then set down with love. You're not walking away from your past. You're stepping forward with it in a lighter, more forgiving way. Who you are now is someone worth showing up for, someone worth trusting, someone ready to be seen, not just by others, but by themselves. Someone out there is trying to see you for who you are now, not who you used to be. And maybe, just maybe, they've been wishing you'd do the same for yourself. This concludes the message from your guardian angels. I want to end with a prayer for you. Lord, wrap them in the grace of your mercy and lift the burden they've been quietly carrying for far too long. Remind them that growth is not betrayal, and that they are not defined by the guilt of who they once were. Soften their heart to receive the love and understanding they've withheld from themselves. Let this be the moment they finally step forward in peace. Amen. Let this be your moment to soften, to be open, to forgive yourself, because you deserve peace too. Type 111 to claim this message and the blessings inside for your own. Try and leave a positive comment for other viewers who might need a positivity boost in their day. The universe sees it as an act of kindness that fuels the cycle of good karma. You'll be spreading positivity and receiving the universe's blessings in return. Let's uplift each other and create waves of good energy together. Did you know there's a possible image of your real soulmate that you can look at right now? It might be someone you know or someone that you haven't met. It's amazing how accurate these have been. You have to see the photo to see what I mean. Click the link in the description to get your soulmate sketch. An important message is waiting for you in the next video. Will you hear it?